It is Saturday, July 20th, and you are watching You Don't Watch Sports right here on the Feo Grande YouTube network. I am Bill Smith. I am joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend, Feo Grande himself, Omari Ellis Omari. Sports once again here on this Saturday. How was your sports?
My sports week is great because it's already started and it's still going on.
Absolutely. You got a big thing going on this weekend that we will get to first because this is You Don't Watch Sports, where we cover three topics, just sprinkling a little sports information into your casual conversation as we are the guiding light through the sea that is sports talk. Let's get it going. Topic number one, Omari, big weekend in the fighting game community. Break it down to us.
Yes,
And I'm going to have
sir.
some
It is.
questions for you.
It is that time of year. It is time for Evolution 2024, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. Pretty much the fighting game the Super Bowl of the fighting game season, where folks come from all over in mass quantities. This is the biggest one yet. Over 10,000 competitors spread across the games in total. Biggest fighting game tournament we've ever had, and it's this year. It's going on in Vegas as we speak. Started Friday. It was great. We already had some early preliminary rounds. We had some announcements for some other games like DLC characters for King of Fighters, stuff like that, various panels, various other things going on. Very fun weekend so far, and it's still going strong. Yeah, you said you had some questions? Oh, you said you might have some questions for me?
Yeah, well, I mean, my first one that jumps out to me is you have the list of games here, and obviously we have like our current models of the American standards in Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, but then you also have Street Fighter 3. So I was just curious of what makes Street Fighter 3 so special that it stays on the board forever, even though we have the modern Street Fighter cycling through.
Well, it hasn't always been a main game at
Because I
Evo.
think
It
of Street
is
Fighter
this year.
2 when you think of a Street Fighter classic. Is that
Correct.
inappropriate?
Street
Okay.
Fighter 2, no, Street Fighter 2, specifically Super Turbo, is still a big
Yes.
classic game. We had a tournament with that at CEO this year,
Okay.
like a side tournament with Super Turbo. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is a good game and everything. Once 4 came out, it wasn't really had at Evo. This is its first time being a main game in about 20 years. And
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure because this is the 20th anniversary, or at least near the 20th anniversary of Moment 37, which is the famous moment where Daigo Umehara versus Justin Wong in a game of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. In the top 8. I don't remember exactly where it was, but Daigo, very low health. Street Fighter's a game where you can die to chip damage. So even if you're blocking, you can lose little bits and still die to that.
Right.
He's playing Ken. Chun-Li is played by Justin Wong. She has a super where she does her little kick stage, like does a ton of kicks, comes out really fast. And with Daigo having this much health, even if he blocks, he's going to die. There's a mechanic where you have to press forward at the exact within I think like a 2-frame window of a contact hitting you, where you can use a parry to avoid taking any damage.
Correct.
Chun-Li's super has I think about 14 hits. Justin does the super to try and chip Daigo out. Daigo parries every single hit, jumps, combos him, and kills him. This clip went viral about 20 years ago, got people back into like fighting it. One of the first reasons like the fighting game FGC kind of like blew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Evo Moment 37. So this being about 20 years later, let's have a Third Strike tournament. And a lot of people are showing up for that. Like, because there are some people in Japan that still play the game hardcore. Every game like will have its own like underground, small community, even when it's no longer in the limelight, because people
Right.
play these games for 5 or 6 years. There may be like, nah, I don't want to play the next one. Street Fighter 4 is not real Street Fighter to me. Street Fighter 3 is where it's at. Meanwhile, you have the Super Turbo heads that's like, back in my day, you ain't need all this cinematic stuff, and that's all you need is this. But stuff like that. But that's why it's here this year. Last year they had a legacy tournament for Marvel versus Capcom 3. And I'm pretty sure next year they'll probably have like a legacy game every year just to be like, hey, because it's part of fighting game history, let's have this tournament this year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then I would say what on the schedule coming up this weekend, you got twitch.tv/evo and then numerical increasing on that on the different channels. I would imagine if you go to twitch.tv/evo, they will have directories to the other channels as well.
Correct.
Where should, as somebody popping in, what should I keep my eye out on? What should I try and hunt down? Is there a particular player or two that if they're on, I should stop and watch? Um,
Um, I've
Particular
always
game I should keep an eye out on?
so today, if you're gonna just watch it and you're just trying to see like what the fighting games, the top level of the fighting games are, that twitch.tv/evo channel today is each game that they have on is their top six in the tournament. So it's like the grand finals of each of those. So you get to see each of those games at their top levels. So KO King of Fighters top six is today, as well as Mortal Kombat 1, which is the most recent Mortal Kombat. They just call it MK1.
Uh-huh.
Uh Under Night Inburst 2 System Cellus. It's also today, and Street Fighter Third Strike tonight. You want to see a legacy game that has people? It was over 1,000 people entered Third Strike this year, and they are people who have been playing this game for 20 years. They are about as refined as it's going to be in a game, and that's tonight at I believe 7 p.m. Pacific, which is a bit late here on the East Coast. I think that's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. 3 hours. Yes. But that is some top stuff. And then tomorrow, Sunday, all your big games, the biggest games that entered on twitch.tv/evo throughout the day, top sixes, ending with Tekken. Tekken is a great spectator sport when it comes to fighting games. Street
Okay.
Fighter 6 is Evo's. Street Fighter at Evo has always been one of my personal favorites. So Sunday, twitch.tv/evo, top sixes all day for the biggest games, with the biggest entries this year, including the biggest named games like your Street Fighters and Tekkens with some of the biggest name characters, your Punks, your Mena RDs, your Tokidos, your Daigos in Street Fighter, your Knee, your Arslan Ash, and etc. in Tekken, and various other players. There's a lot of games and players, but yeah.
Very cool.
But that
Very
that
cool.
main channel, it will get if you're watching today or tomorrow, you see the top level play of whatever games are playing.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it,
Anything else?
indeed. Not that's good for that topic. I know we got two other ones we can touch
All
on.
right. Well, yeah, let's move on to topic number two. Then I'm going to give a quick catch up on our MLB season. We just finished off the All-Star week. So also our home run derby is involved in there. Teoscar Hernandez from the Los Angeles Dodgers ended up taking the home run derby,
The other
going
cool.
down to the finals with Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt had just one home run shy with one pitch remaining and hit it right to the wall, but did not go over. So it was a highly dramatic finals and a great home run derby. The All-Star game finished up with the American League winning over the National League 5-3. And so now it is All-Star week over and we are back to real baseball. And I want to hit the standings real quick. In the American League on the East, we now have the Baltimore Orioles have topped the division with the New York Yankees sliding to the second spot, one game back. The American League Central is the Cleveland Guardians on top of the division still. 5 game back are the Minnesota Twins. 7 games back, Kansas City Royals. I think this is going to be Cleveland's to lose at this point. The American League West, the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners are currently tied neck and neck for the top of that division. So that'll be theirs to watch. National League, National League East, we have the Philadelphia Phillies on top, the Atlanta Braves 8 games back. Philadelphia Phillies are really looking like the best team in baseball right now. In the Central, the Milwaukee Brewers are above the Cardinals 4.5 games. Los Angeles Dodgers top the American League West by 7 games. So it's really the Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies in the top of the league. As far as the wild card standings, if the playoffs were to happen tomorrow, we have the New York Yankees, the Minnesota Twins, and the Boston Red Sox in the hunt. In the National League, we have the Atlanta Braves in the solidly in the one slot. We have the St. Louis Cardinals just 1 game up in the second spot, and then the New York Mets and the Arizona Diamondbacks tied for the third spot in the wild card. That would be our current Major League Baseball look. We're going to keep an eye on Aaron Judge, who is dominating baseball right now and could win his second MVP in a row. We
He's a
also
Yankee,
have,
right?
yes, he is a Yankee. And then we have Shohei Ohtani and several other Dodgers that are looking to hunt for the MVP. So we'll keep an eye on that one on the National League side. That would do it for Major League Baseball. And on to topic number 3, Omari, I wanted to hit on some wrestling because, as we warned you last week, Will Ospreay and MJF were going to start Dynamite 250. And boy, did they start Dynamite 250 with a 59-minute, 58-second match. Went down to 2 seconds remaining in the 60-minute time limit. MJF defeated Will Ospreay for the AEW International title in what are some are saying could be the greatest free TV match of all time. Um, I personally was enthralled with it. It is they do everything. They do everything in it. They were given an hour and they used that hour. Um, my only thought is it kind of made the rest of the show feel a little like energy was spent so much on that first hour that the second hour feels a little deflated because of that. But otherwise, it was an amazing match. And it is also we're also building on the AEW side to AEW blood and guts. Um, we have finalized our teams. Obviously, we have Team Elite, which is the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada, Hangman Adam Page, and Jack Perry. And then on the Team AEW side, we have um, the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland.
All right.
We have the Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe.
Okay.
We have the acclaimed
Okay.
and we have Darby Allin
All right.
in a blood and guts match. So where do you think that's going to go, Omari?
Oh man. Well, we got Adam Page, baby. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But Adam Page, who really likes bleeding when he can in matches. We got Darby Allin, who ragdolls around and tries to kill himself every match. Figuratively, of course. As where Strickland also ain't scared to inflict and or bleed himself. The elite are crazy. I mean, the title is not apropos, ap, ap, the
Apropos?
appropriate, whatever it is appropriate. Let's just
Yes.
say. But there's
Yes.
a phrase that people use. I just don't remember what it is. But yes, it is very appropriate, and that's exactly what we're gonna get. I hope that no one gets injured. That's the only thing that scares me
Hmm.
when you get this many people. However, they are called the elite for a reason. They manage to not
As
get injured with these things, and Swerve and all the other people clearly have a lot of stuff as well.
as a relative newbie to modern wrestling, Give me a forecast of what blood and guts match is. Is it just a 10-man tornado tag that's no DQ?
I believe it's you one person comes out from each team in a certain order, like after a amount of time and gets added to the match. No one can be pinned until everybody's in there. So you're literally just beating the shit out of each other for
Okay.
like minutes and minutes at a time. It's like, okay,
Yep.
we got 1-1.
War games
Now
ish.
someone's got the advantage and all of that stuff. Yeah, war games ish. It's war games ish, but AEWified.
Not doubled ringed.
I don't believe so. I
Okay.
It could be, but I don't think so. It's been a
Alrighty.
minute since I've seen one, and
I'm
but I'm
excited to
looking
see
forward
it.
to it.
I'm
I'm
excited
looking
to see
forward
it.
to it. I do know that much. I am looking forward to it.
Wonderful. All right. Well, that's going to wrap us up here on You Don't Watch Sports, where we cover three topics just to sprinkle a little sports information into your casual conversation as we are the guiding light through the sea that is sports talk. If you want us to be your guiding light through other media, we talk about lots of different things. On Mondays we have mock draft. We have what else do we do? We do a lot of stuff here. We have This
Yeah,
Guy
we
Hasn't Seen
got
on Tuesdays. We have Whatever We Want on Wednesdays with the friend of the channel, Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
And we have more stuff coming, hopefully, on Thursdays and Fridays, just to get every day of your week covered. Omari, anything else you want to direct them to?
Yes, I also have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Yeah, that's about what I gotta say.
Perfect.
Anything else from you? All right. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Adios.